Now that we have reconciled all the opening balances according to the opening trial balance, the next step is matching each control account total balance with individual customer balances that we have. Now we will enter the customers, enter their individual relevant balance, which makes up the total to 150,000, for example, for all the customers, which is equal to debtors control account balance that we have already entered. So that means now we are entering the breakup of this control account total balance. So in order to do that, I'll go to PeachTree main screen and I'll enter in customers and sales section. So all of the activity related to customers can be found in this area, from creating the new customer to generating any kind of report particularly related to the customer. So first of all, if we see on the right hand side, we don't have any customers already entered. So I'll go in customer section and create the new customers. If you have already entered some of the customers, you can click on view and edit customers to enter edit the existing details or view the existing details that we have. So right now we are just creating the new customers. I'll click on new customer. Now the interface is very simple. I'll just go with the basics and then we will see more advanced options in the later videos. So first of all, it is required to mention the customer ID. Now it depends on the company norms that you follow, what code can be given. But for example, I give code C100 for Bashir, C200 for Abu Bakr, and C300 for Mubarak. But that depends on the individual company policies. So I'm just taking the example of the customer code. C100 is our first customer. Now this is the required field. This is the compulsory field, right? So that is mentioned in static. So first customer is Bashir. And the customer type, you can mention any customer type. We don't have any right now. So on the first page, this is the required information, which is compulsory. Rest of all fields can be entered later, which includes account number, billing address, city, etc. So after that, if I go on the contacts tab, it has extensive customer management service in which you can enter different contacts and their numbers for that particular customer. For example, if you want to contact any salesperson in this company or any accounts person, you can enter many contacts here. So it has extensive database management. So address can be mentioned. If you want to bill to a different address and ship the physical items to the different address, you can enter some of the addresses here. Now let's come to the next tab, that is history. Now this customer is, since I'll change it to 1st of January 2020, and now I have to enter the customer balances from here. So this is the main area. After the first requirements, that is mentioning the code and name, I can directly just come to history and change the date and then enter the customer beginning balances. Now it will ask you to now it will open up this prompt in which it is mentioned that you have modified the current record and have not saved it. Do you want to save the record first? I'll click yes, and then I'll go on this screen in which I'll enter the opening balances. But it specifies that any balances that you enter will be considered as an invoice. So I have to give an invoice number for that. I'll just consider it 1001 for now. And now I'll mention date, that is 1st of January 2020. So it picks up 1st of January 2020 and my total balance is 50,000. 50,000 is my total balance, and it automatically put this balance in account receivable. So I'll just save it and close. So it will mention and show up the balance here. Now I'll go to sales info and let's check in which account our normal sales for this customer will go. By default 4010 is selected, and the account name is individual contributions. I can just change the name to sales revenue from the backend, which I'll do later. And payment and credit, click OK. Payment and credit. Now payment and credit, it is what policies do we use for this customer type. For example, we have given 30 days of credit, and if there is an early settlement, we will give some of the discount, and maximum credit that we offer is this one. And credit status is if the customer balance goes up from this amount, PeachTree will notify us. So you can change and edit these terms also, but similarly we will just stick with the basics and see the advanced functions later on. So I'll just save and new. Now the second customer is, we will just enter the basics. C200, customer name is Abu Bakr, and I'll just directly go to the history, and let's select 1st of January 2020. Customer beginning balance, click yes. 1002, 1st of January 2020, and my balance is 60,000. So 60,000. Just be careful with the zeros. Save and close. And now my ledger is already selected. I'll just save and new. And now my third customer is Mubarak. So C300 is Mubarak, and I'll just change this to 10010120, 1st of January 2020. Customer beginning balance, yes. 1003, 1st of January 2020, and my balance is 40,000. 40,000, and save and close. And now let's save this one as well. Now I'll close this. Now it's not showing the customer list here. I need to refresh it once, so it will show up all the customers. Now if you want to change the name of the revenue account, which was mentioned as individual contributions, I'll go to company and click on chart of accounts and view and edit accounts. Now I will manually search for the revenue area. The rules that we have learned earlier in these lectures is 1 is for fixed asset, 2 is for liabilities, 3 is for equity, and 4 is for revenue. So I can directly go to 4 area to find this ledger. Double click on individual contributions and change the name to sales revenue. Save it and close. Now if you notice, we don't have any amount in the sales revenue right now, because sales revenue only gets affected when we enter day-to-day activities. Right now we are only considering the opening position, that is the balance that we already need to receive from the customers. We haven't made any new sales, so that's why it's 0. So this is how we entered the customers and their balances in PeachTree. In the next video, I'll show you the similar method to enter vendors and their balances.